what this scanner measures, it's an MRI scanner, and it measures magnetic resonance energy that's emanating from the brain. So it's really extrasensory. It's precise enough to tell us what activity is occurring in each little volume element the size of a peppercorn. When you read a sentence that says, there are two elephants walking across the savannah, a computer program can tell that the same thought is going on in your brain, whether you're watching the video or reading the sentence. At a conceptual level, it's the same. It's also the same for people across languages. There's a universality of the alphabet of human thoughts, and it applies to the videos that Jack Gallant and his colleagues have found, but also applies to spoken and written speech. So, and it crosses languages. We have a vocabulary. The brain has a vocabulary, and we're beginning to discover it. Right now, we need this $2 million machine that weighs 16,000 pounds. But you ask, in the future, will some genius biophysicist invent a little cap or helmet that'll do it? I think that's likely. The energy, the electromagnetic energy is just sitting there. It's sitting there. So, you know, when you talk about telepathy, telepathy is communication across a distance. Well, we can already go a few millimeters, and, you know, it's just a matter of time before we can go thousands of miles. You could essentially, in the not too distant future, tweet thoughts. So not type your little tweet, but think it. Press a button, and all your followers could potentially read it.
Could you detect this woman who is passing by and spots you is just about to fall in love with you?
Now that would be an innovation. That would be the killer application, I guess they would say.
Well, I try not to make predictions about anything less than 2 trillion years from now for good reasons. One is that no one will be able to know if I'm wrong. But that's one of the wonderful things about the future is you don't know where it's going to go. And the internet is, like most results in science, out of control. And if you think about predictions about the future as done in the past, they always miss the important stuff. In fact, most science fiction missed the most important thing about the present world, which is the internet itself. They had flying cars, they had rocket ships. None of that exists, but the internet governs our lives today. It used to be that when you communicated with someone, the person you were communicating with was as important as the information. Now on the internet, the person is unimportant at all. In fact, it was developed so that scientists could communicate. Scientists like me could communicate with each other without knowing where the other person was or even who the other person was. There's a famous cartoon from the New Yorker which says, on the internet, no one knows if you're a dog. And in the future, you won't know if you're communicating with dogs or robots or people, and it won't matter. But becoming your own filter will be the challenge of the future, because the filter isn't provided with you. There's no controls on the internet, no matter what governments do, or no matter what industries do. The internet is going to propagate out of control, and people will have to be their own controls.
I think in the future, one next step from computation to communication will be to sensing and remote sensing.
And mind reading via the internet.
One of those sensors will be brain imaging sensors.
And you will transmit thoughts.
Right.
The two of you.
Will our children's children's children need the companionship of humans? Or will they have evolved in a world where that's not important? It sounds awful, doesn't it? But maybe it'll be fine. Maybe the companionship of robots, maybe the companionship of an intelligent internet will be sufficient. Who am I to say?
I'm standing in the corner, shovel in my hand, I'm looking for one more working man. And let me be your salty dog. Oh, let me be your salty dog. I won't be your man long. And let me be your salty dog.
Let me be your salty dog, I won't be your man at all. And let me be your salty dog.
Well, let me be your salty dog, I won't be your man at all. And let me be your salty dog. I want you to do some picking, 'cause I like
Yeah, I can.